Everybody ready? All right. The women have a regular season finale tomorrow night at Miami. Fire away with questions for Coach Miller.
Your thoughts about tomorrow night's game, the significance of it, and going into it.
Miami is a very underrated team. I don't think you can look at their record. They have some of the best talent individually in the league. So first and foremost, a great matchup, a difficult matchup. They are very, very long, are going to put 5 kids over 5'10" on the floor at one time. So their length can really disrupt you. They lead the league in blocks. They get a lot of deflections. So we're going to have to play well offensively in a place we haven't played well offensively in a few years. So we have our work cut out that way for us. The game takes on another dimension because we can win the outright title. Obviously, I think, for the first time you heard the word greedy or selfish in our locker room. Because we are preaching being unselfish, but if we were ever going to be greedy, it's now time to be greedy. We don't want to share that title. But regardless, we know we have a piece of the title. Now it's playing for seeds. Are you going to be the number 1 seed, or are you going to be the number 2 seed? So I think our kids are hungry, are motivated. We're still playing for something. And it's conceivable that you could turn right back around and have Miami in the quarterfinals. So I think it's important for confidence for both teams to play well against each other because it is a potential quarterfinal matchup.
Obviously, at this point in the season, you'd love to have a 3-game lead and have the league in your pocket right now. Is it good in a reverse kind of way to have to play with an edge for, going into this game and forward?
Obviously, you want to be playing your best basketball going into the MAC tournament. So for us to be still playing for something, I think is important because it will really force the kids to focus and attention to detail and try to be playing our best basketball. The devil's advocate of that is we're banged up. Lauren is not 100%. Tracy's not 100%. Tamika rolls an ankle on Saturday. So all 3 starting guards are banged up. So it would be great to have the NFL kind of style right now and be able to take some of those star players off the floor, but still playing for seeding purpose. We don't have that luxury. But that is a decision that we have to make throughout that game is that one win more important than the long-term goals in the MAC tournament if Tracy, Lauren, or Tamika are hurting or not 100%?
It doesn't get talked about a lot, but most teams are in that kind of situation by this time, aren't they, where there's just nicks and bruises, little things that kind of nag you, aren't there?
I think everybody's going through that. Some are obviously more significant than others, but everyone's beat up at this time of the year. And Lauren, Tracy, and Tamika all understand that. But at the same time, we do have ultimate goals to go to the NCAA tournament. So we have to weigh out some pros and cons with this last game, but we're going to go for it. And Lauren gutted out 37 minutes the other night and obviously wasn't 100%, but she really stepped up and played.
So all 3 will be in the lineup?
All 3 should be in the lineup. Tamika was the most limited out of the 3 of them yesterday in practice, but we foresee all 3 in the lineup.
We haven't talked a lot about Prohaska's injury. Is it more than a neck and a bruise? What was it?
Specifically, she got inadvertently kicked in the game by a teammate. Actually, in the Buffalo game, it kind of hyperextended and was probably a little scary more than anything. She continued to play, and later on in the game, when we came out of a timeout and she had cooled down during the timeout, it locked up on her and scared her. It didn't feel right, and so structurally she's okay. There was no ACL injury, and at this time, if we can control the inflammation and she can deal with a little discomfort, we don't believe it's anything that in the off season will require surgery. But more importantly, it's certainly not a season-ending injury.
What's bothering Tracy?
Tracy's got an Achilles injury, and Achilles tendonitis. She's swollen, and certainly I think it doesn't. Any person that has followed us for a while has seen that she's lost a little bit of her explosiveness because of her injury. And that's the biggest concern with Tracy and Lauren. They're both healthy enough to go, but they have lost some of their quickness, some of their explosiveness.
This kind of hit you a little bit last year. Jess went down this time of year last year. Lauren got hurt. Tracy got hurt going into the WNIT. How do you adjust? You just have to on the fly, don't you?
Absolutely. I mean, we don't have any time. We just continue to move forward, and fortunately we're deep this year, and it's really hard to overcome star players being injured, but we have a lot of bodies to go to, and maybe we limit some minutes. We try to get them some rest around media timeouts, and they're rehabbing like crazy. I give them credit. Any free second in the day that they have as a student athlete, they're trying to find time to rehab their injuries at this time of the year.
Obviously, winning a conference doesn't get old, but in terms of the significance to be able to do it this year, what would it mean for you?
It means the world to us because this year we knew we were undertaking a grueling non-conference schedule, and we could have some more losses, and wondered how that would affect the psyche, our mental toughness during the year. We lost, the heart and soul of our team to graduation last year with Lindsay Goldsberry was the ultimate warrior and winningest player in MAC history. But, behind the scenes, not much is talked about that you also lost Nikki McCoy when her decision not to rejoin the team was our best post player off the dribble, gave us an added dimension offensively. And so we've overcome a lot, and so it would be very, very special. And, we're going to consider ourselves MAC champions, but we're going to try to be a little bit greedy right now and try to get the outright champions. But with the bullseye that's on this program's back right now, the effort that you get each and every night from the opponents to try to knock off the team that's been there for a while, to sustain excellence is a credit to our players and a credit to my assistant coaches to battle every day and know that everyone's coming after them is what it's all about. And so we don't take it lightly. Sometimes this program has been relieved to win, but lately we have been really, really excited to win, and that is what I want to get back to, because we should never feel relieved to win. It's really special when you're able to win championships.
What do you think, when the word dynasty comes up and you talk about BG women's basketball?
Dynasty is a strong word. I don't know how you define dynasty, but I do like the fact that we're considered a champion. And when we got here in 2001, we talked about the sustained excellence, not being a one-hit wonder, and really building a culture. And dynasty is a powerful word, but I do believe, and I like when people talk about the culture that we have here, and the championship culture, and the winning attitude and effort each and every night is really special to us.
Is that something you look for when you recruit these kids? Do you want winners out of high school?
It's a great question. I think there's kids that come from programs that haven't been successful that certainly can play here and be successful, but it's very important to us. In this year's incoming recruiting class, the 2010 class, the local girl at Tiffin Columbia has been ranked #1 in the state. They're undefeated. Berlin Highland is going to make another run at a state championship. We have a player coming from there. The Youngstown player from Canfield has consistently won championships both in high school and been a part of some of the best AAU programs in the state. So it's really, really important because they understand what it's like for teams in their high school conferences to want to knock them off, to beat them, and each night they're the hunted. And so they have that already when they get here, so they have it. They don't know to the extent that it is here, but they understand what it's like because they're going through it in high school.